Okay, and welcome back. And if you kind of hear a little humming in the background, that's my fan because it's kind of warm in my apartment. So I've got the fan on while I'm doing the second half here. So I'm gonna lighten things up a little bit, and we're gonna talk about doing things that can not only improve your attitude, but you can also possibly improve the life of another person. And personally, to me, helping somebody, no matter what it is, helping somebody has always made me feel good. So one of the easiest ways you can do that is volunteering. Now, some people kind of get a little intimidated by the thought of that, but just take into consideration what your particular skill set is. Are you good with a computer? Do you have the gift of gab? Can you talk to people well? Are you kind of that person that just talks really easily to people? Are you good with kids? Are you good at sports? Are you a good musician? Can you teach? Think about the things that you're good at. And I am almost 100% positive that there is a volunteering opportunity out there where you can go out and make a difference in somebody's life. Just I've got this list up here. I just did a Google search of volunteering opportunities in Seattle. Here's a list of them. Here's some options. You can offer friendly phone calls and future visits for senior citizens. I know that's not for everybody, but if you're one of those people with that particular type of heart of gold, you can go help some seniors out, make them feel good, bring them a cat or a puppy, bring them some lunch. You can talk to them. I've known some people that do this. Makes them feel great. They make friends with these senior citizens, gives them a little something, a little boost, and it's great all the way around. Another one is teen mentoring. There's a lot of kids out there that might not have a great family situation, or they're on the road to becoming a depressed and anxiety-ridden adult, and they might need somebody with your particular experience, someone with your savvy or your street smarts or whatever. I remember being a teenager and just not really having a lot of support at home, and just feeling kind of lost a lot of the time. If I could have possibly had somebody mentoring me with something, I probably might not have had a lot of the issues that I had later in life. I always did really well with, I would get some guitar lessons occasionally from, my mom would get them for me. And just being involved with this other person, in a positive environment made me feel good about myself. So there's just things like that you can do to help a younger person that might be struggling a little bit. I know that there are sports leagues all over the place that are always looking for volunteer coaches, whether you play baseball or soccer or football. You can go in, volunteer, teach these kids how to become really kick-ass sportos, if that's important to you. I can remember helping out with one of my daughter's soccer teams a little bit. And that was fun. It was fun. I mean, they were little kids. You weren't expecting World League or anything like that out of these little kids, but it was fun just to help them get lined up and try to kick the ball between the little cones and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. They had fun. And it made me feel great doing it. Now, I know all of you are not people persons, and maybe the thought of trying to coach a bunch of 5-year-old little girls how to play soccer is a complete nightmare scenario for you. So let's think of some different options, okay? You can always donate. You can always give. Like donating blood. Obviously, that's going to be a lifesaver. I mean, literally, that's going to be a lifesaver for somebody. Donating blood and plasma. You can donate blankets, for like the Salvation Army or for these homeless shelters in your town, wherever you might be. Heck, get some of your friends and make 100 peanut butter sandwiches or something like that, and go and give them out to the homeless in your neighborhood. Help some of these people out. You know, a lot of people are having a real tough time these days, and might not necessarily be any fault of their own, just really bad circumstances. And you never know, that peanut butter sandwich, that small kindness that you give to this person might be the difference in their entire day or their life, or who knows? Who knows what you can start with just a small token of kindness to another human being. It doesn't take a lot of energy. It might take a little bit, depends on how soft the bread is and how cold the peanut butter is. But I jest. It can be a very simple thing, as handing somebody a sandwich or giving somebody a blanket, or just some dry socks, some clean, warm, dry socks without holes in it, something like that. Donating your time for road cleanup, for doing things in your community, or if there's a park that needs cleaning up, help that out, get out. Especially if you can get out and do something where you're out moving around and you're helping somebody, that's a great scenario, because the moving, getting your body moving, that's kind of a little exercise that gets endorphins going into your mind and stuff. And plus, helping people or focusing on a task that is helpful is keeping you out of a negative headspace. And that's what you need to do, is you need to keep yourself out of negative headspaces as much as possible. That's the whole point of this thing, is to say goodbye to the negative headspace. This is a great way to do it. This is a great way to exercise that muscle and to build neural paths that are positive, so you don't go down those old roads again. Ultimately, you get out of life what you put into it. Unfortunately, it took me a long time to kind of learn that lesson, but I'm trying to make up for some lost time on that here recently. It's never too late, though. And I know it's not too late for you. The way I see it, everybody has something to give. And it can be just a tiny thing. It could just be a tiny kindness to somebody. And that could just make all the difference in the world. I mean, there's been times where I've just texted somebody a dumb joke, or a movie of a cat falling into a bathtub full of water. Haha, whatever. And that just, they write me back and they're like, dude, I really needed that. Thank you so much. And it wasn't anything that I even really had to try. I wasn't trying to make a huge difference in their day. I just thought it was a funny thing, and I thought of them and sent it off to them. So, that's all it takes a lot of the time. It's just sometimes people need to know that they're being considered, and if you can consider them, they will give that right back to you. If you just give them a little bit of notice, give them a tiny bit of attention, they will give that right back to you. And it can be a really cool thing. It can make you feel great knowing that you helped somebody out. Another one of those moments that you can stack in your little victory pile and pat yourself on the back and say, I did a good thing. Because you need to stack those positives up. That's what we are here for, is building the positive and letting go of the negative past. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week. I'll come up with something to talk about. Have a good one. See you next time.